that, but also in our final segment address some of the macroeconomic trends out there and the challenges and the change in government which is coming up and how that could affect you as well. Back once again, Shawn Askinosie, Askinosie Chocolate. We'll be right back in a moment. Don't go away. Back once again, continuing our conversation with Shawn Askinosie, the founder of Askinosie Chocolate. We went to break, and in our last segment here, you talked about how Walmart came a-coming, but you were not going to answer that call just yet, or perhaps ever?
Maybe not ever. I mean, you can buy Dom Perignon at Sam's, but they've built their brand over the last century, and we're not quite there yet. And it's very important, I think, as a small producer, as a craft producer, you have to know who you are. You have to know your brand. You have to know, inside yourself, what do you really stand for? And once you know those things, then answering the questions about where you're going to sell, those things are fairly easy. And so, but we just don't say yes to everyone. And part of it is because we can't fulfill the distribution requirements. Part of it is because we don't want to be beholden to someone. And part of it is because it's just not a good fit.
In the meantime, in the last couple of minutes here, we're dealing with an economy which has gone through some maneuvers lately that people haven't really seen for years if ever before. How is that affecting you?
Well, thankfully, we're in international markets. And we have a strategy to pursue some emerging markets, like India, for example, Spain, for example. And I think that's going to help us. But we're definitely seeing some impact with sales on our product. And so it's challenging. But I'm always up for a challenge. And I just think that the small business people of this country, the entrepreneurs that are going to be here now and next year and then the year after that, those are going to be the folks that employ this country, and they're going to be the folks that pull us out of this economic mess that we're in. And we just need for government to provide the necessary help and assistance for us to do that, and part of that means getting out of the way.
In ways we discussed before about getting in, Homeland Security, things such as that. What about tax code changes? Are you worried at all about the possibility of that?
I'm concerned about tax code changes, but I don't know. I think it's too early to say what kind of tax code changes are really going to make their way through Congress in light of the economy that we're in. I think the new administration, they're going to have a realization, regardless of what they've said in the past, that small business makes this country what it is, and will continue to do that. 90% of America is employed by small business. So doing anything negatively tax-wise, I just have to think that ultimately that will be considered.
And what about the dollar? I mean, we've seen the dollar go through its own little seesaw ride here as well. How has that affected you to a great extent?
Yes, it has. In fact, I mean, I understand the Bush administration, is in some ways favorable of a weak dollar. I'm in favor of a weak dollar where I am right now because it's a great buy for the people in Europe. It's a great buy for the other economies. They're buying our chocolate at a 30 to 40% discount. That's good for me. When it's bad for me is when I have to buy equipment from Germany, because then I'm buying it at a huge markup. What I'd really like to see is just some stabilization. I just kind of like to see the dollar, just not bouncing around like crazy. And including in the markets too. I mean, just some stabilization and calming of some fears. And I think that's what it's going to take to help get us through this.
Well, we appreciate your coming on in and admire your success story and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Doing well and doing good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mike.
Shawn Askinosie, Askinosie Chocolate. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.